Hi friends, the guest today is Shwetambari Shetty. She's a fitness icon. She's a mother to a newborn. She has been a banker and today she's a published author also. Shwetambari and I met 3 years back when she started me on my new fitness journey, and it's been a love affair that carries on. I'm very pleased to have Shwetambari Shetty join us on Life Begins at 40 today. Thank you so much. Shwe, hi. So in your book, Get Moving, you talk about how your life at Kundapur, your hometown, has laid the foundation for a well-oiled body and the movements that you're able to do. So would you like to tell us a little about that?
Of course, Sanj. I mean, I think those are my roots. Like for me, Kundapur is really what has made me and shaped me as a person. I come from a family that obviously, is managing paddy fields and forests and, certain types of wood factories, brick factories and all of that. So there's a lot of manual labor that I have seen growing up, right from farming to, a lot of work that happens in the jungles, in the forests, where we are obviously preserving all the trees, but at the same time, utilizing it in many ways possible. And I've grown up with people who do these chores on a daily basis, right? And I've just seen how they use their body so beautifully, so functionally. Like yesterday in my workout, I was doing an overhead carry with like 7.5 kgs weight, right? And I'm carrying it overhead and I'm pacing up and down in the parking lot. My dad's like, you need to just go and work in the brick factory or something and you'll be carrying bricks on your head and going up and down. So, there's so much functionality when you grow up in a village, right? And when you keep, I know I could have just avoided coming back to Kundapur because I live in the city, but then I knew that this is a place that's going to keep me humble, keep me grounded. Knowing where you're coming from, knowing how much you've kind of really achieved despite coming from a certain very small place and etc., right? And movement, like I've seen my parents, the laborers in our paddy fields and estates and all that, they would only sit down for those 3 meals and maybe 2 tea breaks, but the whole time they would be at it on their feet, walking. If they're not walking, not moving, they're sitting down and resting their body, and otherwise they're walking, right? The amount of time that we sit today, Sanj, they would move, or other way around, if the amount of time that they move is how much we sit today, right? And I noticed that even very elderly ladies, right, like even at 75, 80, women were comfortably doing deep squats, doing this work in deep squat, pacing up and down, doing the household chores. So I'm like, this is what being fit and healthy means. It is not necessary to go to a gym, do a certain type of workout. Of course, you and I need that because we don't have the village life to live. We have a sedentary lifestyle in front of the laptop and all of that. But my reason for moving so much and not sitting down long hours is really just that. I have, just surrounded myself, or I keep coming back every year, at least I think twice, to just understand, where do I come from and what really this means, being physically active all the time and stuff. So, which is what I wanted to really talk about in the book, because workouts and everything will come in YouTube and so on and so forth, but so many apps and etc. But to understand what movement means, you really need to experience it. And I'm very fortunate to have experienced it all my life. And I want to do the same thing for my daughter. Like I want to bring her every year. I want her to be, really feel the ground, understand where she belongs, where she's come from, the kind of people we are and all of that.
So how do you fit in your workouts with a little baby? You have an infant, not even a 3-month-old, right?
Yeah, she just turned 4. Yeah.
Oh, she just turned 4. Okay, time flies. And so the next part B of the question is, how do we know what's a good workout for us? Because I don't know if cardio is better or weights are better. And
Sanj, you have to mix it up, right? See, you and I, because we sit at the desk for long hours, we need a good mix of every component of workout. Your workout mix, no matter what age, etc., needs to have all the components of fitness, which is cardiovascular, strength training, flexibility, mobility, etc., right? Now, if you need the cardio for heart healthy reasons, for weight loss, calorie burn, for great lung functionality and all of that, and you need the strength training, you need the weight training to keep that muscle mass secure in the body as you age old, as you grow older. You want to keep your joints and all of them not rusting, you want them constantly working. Now, when you do not incorporate weight training, your muscle mass deteriorates, and that's a part of aging. You can't blame anyone or anything for that. But if you want that whole process of degeneration and your muscle mass deterioration kind of slowing down, you need to add strength training. Simple. And mobility and flexibility, it's your body you're born with enough flexibility and mobility. Again, as you grow older, lack of usage kind of deteriorates. So you have to practice that, right? So you need all components of fitness, no matter what age group you fall in.
And so how has having Yona in your life changed your life and your workouts?
I don't know, I think late pregnancy has its pros and cons. The pros are that you are, you know what you're doing. You're more at peace, with even the difficulties that come to you. Because I know now I know that motherhood is very difficult. It has two contrasting things: extremely difficult and extremely joyful and beautiful, right? So I think as you grow older, when you have a baby much later in life, you're also, like I said, you're very grounded, and you've kind of sorted this thing in your head, and you just do things differently compared to probably when you're younger. Because I hear of a lot of youngsters, of course they have a lot more energy to manage the baby, but they also go through a lot of depression or disappointments through this whole phase of postpartum, the breastfeeding and all of that, right? But I think when you're much older, you're a lot more sorted to handle this kind of issues. But the con is that it's physically exhausting, which also then makes it mentally exhausting. So if you're not strong enough and fit enough, then it can really take a toll on you, right? Like my back sometimes cries to me, but I know I have a strong back, which is why I can keep pushing my luck. So it's changed physically and mentally and emotionally completely. Like I know physically I'm not able to do a lot of things that I used to do, and that sometimes bums me out. But I know I need to slow down. Mentally, I'm in a space right now where I know I need to give max amount of time towards her, but sometimes even I'm in a little bit of a dilemma, like how do I manage everything? How do I manage my work? Because even with 6 months of maternity off, I don't seem to be able to be on top of things and stuff, right? And I can't obviously not get back to work and all of that. And emotionally, it's a different ball game altogether. I think you get more clingy to the baby than the baby gets more clingy to you, because you've obviously had, like I said, a late pregnancy, and then I think your life just revolves around this little thing. I find it hard to distance myself from her. So I think it's changed in every possible way.
So in the last week since the blooper, I spoke to a few friends who are in their late 30s, and I think you're having a baby so late in technically, social norms and all.
Yeah, biologically, yeah.
Has given hope to many women. So would you like to share some tips on what one can do if they want to go in? Sanj, first thing is you need to continue to stay fit and healthy, right? Like say, okay, you're 35 or 36 and you want to start planning a baby. Now planning a baby, it can happen overnight. It can take 6 months, 8 months, or even sometimes maybe 4 years, right? So start on the journey of being a lot more fitter. Like even if you've not exercised all your life,
get on that mode, start walking more often, start taking on basic workouts at home, at the gym, wherever. So first, start getting into a healthier routine, a more fitter routine. That definitely helps right from conception to postpartum to everything. Okay. Second, in a late pregnancy, I did this. I got myself checked. My husband also got himself checked, just to know that, all the efforts that we're going to be putting in is not just going to go in vain. Like, you need to be able to be in a certain condition to be able to have a baby or make a baby, right? So we got our tests done. And obviously, when we knew that everything was good to go, we went ahead. And third thing is, of course, do all the scans the right way. Do not ignore or neglect anything, because today technology is so advanced that, God forbid, but anything that is unpleasant sometimes can be identified much in advance, and then you can take the right decision. And these decisions, I think today you need to make, right? Even if it's sometimes hard, you need to make. So do all of these basic things in the beginning so that you never have to worry postpartum and, post your delivery of your baby's health and things like that, right? So so first thing is, you be fit, be healthy. And honestly, if Vivek and I were not as fit and as healthy as we are, I'm telling you, Sanj, we would be another couple that would be struggling to have a baby. And I know that. It's only because our healthy habits of food and, exercise and regular blood tests that we do, keep a check on our micronutrients, on deficiencies and things like that, that we were confidently able to say, okay, it's late, but we can still give this a shot. So, yeah.
And how has becoming a vegetarian affected your lifestyle in any way?
Oh,
health? Yeah. So,
I think I feel very good more than anything else. I feel great. My cravings have reduced because I've been eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. I've been doing a lot of nuts and seeds. So my cravings have come down drastically. I don't know how that's working, or maybe it's my mind also, because I know I'm on this journey of fat loss right now. And I want to be doing everything right, and I want to be, cheating, or rather my reward meals should be limited as much as possible. So I'm making a conscious effort. And honestly, like, I'm eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, like so colorful through the day, and I feel so good. I can't tell you. I don't crave for non-vegetarian at all, like nothing. Maybe an egg sometimes, but that's the only thing I would look forward to eating, and absolutely nothing else. And my chai, which is, I'm not vegan, so obviously I'm not going to, stop having milk in my chai, because that's something I really, really enjoy and I look forward to, which I do 2 cups in a day. But I love sugar. Like, all my life, I just kept eating a lot of sweet treats, which I enjoyed. Not every day, but then I enjoyed it, right? But now I don't even crave for that. Like, I haven't eaten, like in Diwali also, I had like maybe 2, or 3 small laddus or something, and nothing else. So my cravings have drastically come down. I feel great. I'm on this path of, fat loss, and it's looking good. It is obviously, it's going to take a few more months before I can get to where I want to be. But I definitely know I'm headed in the right direction. So I would urge people to actually make that shift if they want to go on a, on this very healthy fat loss journey. You won't look like tired and exhausted and pale, by reducing the amount you're eating. You're still eating a lot of food, but it's all coming in the form of fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. So it does wonders to your skin, to your bowel, to your hair, to everything.
So I live with my parents and a son who's a non-vegetarian, and just cooking for myself and trying to turn vegetarian has been a challenge. How did you do it? Do you have people cooking for you?
Oh, I have non-vegetarian around me all the time. Like, my parents are hardcore non-veg eaters. My husband also wants to eat his, meat all the time. So I'm surrounded, and I'm only hoping that Yona doesn't want to eat any of that. So that at least I have one other person with me who's not going to be wanting to eat meat. But, it doesn't bother me at all. It was a very conscious decision. Initially, I would crave, like I said, for eggs and things like that. But now I don't even have that craving, because I'm so satisfied with what I'm eating that I don't feel the need to eat something else. So I think it's really about what are you, what does your plate have instead of everyone else's meat plate, that actually completely satisfies you, right? So even if it's veg food, like keep food that you enjoy eating, right? Like I would keep spinach almost every day during lunch because I enjoy eating spinach, right? And then I will obviously put some vegetables which I probably don't like so much, but then because I'm having it with certain vegetables which I love, I would eat it. Like in the morning breakfast bowl also, with so many fruits, there's certain fruits that I don't like eating at all, but then because I have this unsweetened peanut butter in it, I enjoy that process. So kind of balance it out where you put in something that you love and put in something that you don't love so much but you need to eat, and then when you mix it up, you will really feel satisfied. So it's going to take some time, but then you need to consciously want to do it. And for me, I'm finally in that stage after 40 years that I want to, get on that mode of eating super clean.
Okay, what is the inspiration behind Get Moving? I have shared it with my mom, and what I've understood is that it works across ages. So what made you do?
I really, when Penguin and I spoke, we were just about talking about how to make exercise, or rather being fit and healthy, a very simple part of your life. Like we should not be like, oh, I have to go to the gym now. Oh, it's today is my rest day, tomorrow is my heavy day, and things like. You don't make a big deal out of it. So I said, let's just put information together which works for people who don't want to step out of the house, can do a lot of things at home, through walking, through their household work also, how they can kind of stay fit and happy and healthy, and also give certain other people who want to do exercises at home, given the little time and the little space also. So which is why we put those boxes with workouts and stuff. So we were kind of wanted to balance it out for both, but my core intention to make the book very simple and very easy to absorb was for people who have never really embarked on this fitness journey, for them to kind of use this book and say, "Theek hai, I can start." This doesn't sound like an arduous task. Like getting up every 1 hour, 2 hours from my sitting position to walking for 5-10 minutes. I can't say I can't do it, right? Trying to learn my deep squat and accumulating 10 minutes in it per day, I can't say that it's impossible, right? There are things. So I wanted to make people feel like, "Arey, ye to kar sakte hai, I can do this," right? That's the space where I want to bring everybody into. Because everyone looks at these intense workouts, whatever, on social media or otherwise, and they're like, this is for certain type of people. It's not for me, right? But the truth is, fitness doesn't have to become so complex. Like, you have come into Cult for the last few years and you've been doing wonderful, right? But you started from scratch. You started from picking small weights to big weights and etc. But you had that motivation. A lot of people are intimidated by it. So they don't want to be motivated to even go, start. So, and that could be anyone. That could be, your mom or, my parents, anybody, right? But if we can make it very simple and say, just walk this much in a day, cycle at home if you have a cycle, squat a lot more, bend a lot more, climb the stairs a lot more, and you do this on a regular basis, you are a fitter person. Simple. We're not saying that at 80 and 90 or 85, people who live till then, you need to be lifting heavy weights. No. Can you self-sustain at 80 and 85? Can you do your own chores, even if it's in a very, very slow manner? That is what is important. Can you avoid all the joint pains as much as possible? Yes. So this is what I really wanted to bring through the book, and nothing fancy. I wanted like people at the very beginning stage to embrace fitness as a part of their daily life.
And very, very useful, if I may say, for people like our parents who have not worked out but really need to get moving.
Yeah.
Cult has been your labor of love and toil, and the last few months have been very difficult. So how have you as an organization kind of...
So there's only one person I can think of who can make this, this decision of doing online workouts and just placing it there in the system, and then it coming off use on some particular day or some particular year, right? And that is Mukesh Bansal and Ankit Nagore. Now, in 2017, Mukesh and Ankit had told me that I want, a lot of DIY workouts being done, and we made them and we put them on the app, and it wasn't obviously being consumed heavily, but it finally came of use during the pandemic. Right? It's crazy how he thought of it then. 2017 we're talking about. I mean, not like we knew that 2020 was going to be a pandemic year. So members of cult or non-members could consume the DIY workouts, and it was like, okay, with no payment or anything. But suddenly now during the pandemic, they consumed it a lot more, and now people are willing to pay for online workouts and use them. So he's such a huge, obviously visionary, I would say, that he thought of, the need for something like this way back. But that was the online world, and we kind of really used our online channel across the country and even in the US, Canada, and all of these places. And it's doing well, if I may say so. Apart from that, now the I can't say post-pandemic, it's not post yet, but yes, we've opened all the cult centers, and you will be amazed that the centers are all running well. People have actually come back. People have this confidence that cult will take care of the safety measures really well, which is what we have done. The safety protocol is brilliant, and everyone who's been coming to the centers have been saying so. We have very little complaints. So the work that has gone in to reopen the centers is probably as good or more than we would do when we open a new center. When we open a new center, it's like you have a playbook now. It's very, very simple for us to open a center, but to open or to reopen post-COVID was, oh my God, very, very tough. It was literally like doing everything from scratch. But we're happy because the members are extremely happy with the outcome of the safety measures and everything. And so everything is pretty much back to normal. We're going to open almost all our centers by the end of December, and it's going to be business as usual, and people are happily coming in and doing their sessions. So we managed the online platform, because we already had ready-made workouts. So we ran with that and we started shooting a lot more. We shot at home, at trainers' respective homes. We created a small shooting kit and sent it to everybody, and they shot at home because we knew, there was a market and people wanted to consume these workouts. So we did everything possible. And now that it's open, people are using both. Some people are using only online, some are only offline, some are using both. And, we know that we want to be in both the space now. We're not going to just let go of the online because offline is open. We're going to keep both on, and we know that this COVID situation is here to stay for a while, so we need the online going.
So they have been a lifesaver.
Yeah, everyone's feeling safe right now. The ones who've already come have been talking about it, and more people want to actually go back. So it's a great thing, and I'm glad people are feeling safe because we've really left no stone unturned to take those measures. Despite cost or whatever, we said we really want to do this for our members.
Fire questions now. How did you and Vivek meet?
So it was through a friend. Like my friend and his friend got us to meet with the intention of marriage. That's the crazy part, right? We met with the intention of marriage, very knowingly and unknowingly, and we hit it off because both of us had this common love for beer.
And
yeah,
what are the fun things that you like to do together?
A lot of binge watching Netflix, a lot of exercising, and a lot of beer drinking. This is all that we get.
3 words that, as per you, that define Shwetambari Shetty.
I think kindness, humility, and love.
That I can vouch for.
That's all, really. And the first thing I want people to always think of when they think of Shwe or Shwetambari is that, she's a very loving, kind person and very humble. This is what I would like people to know me as.
The naughtiest or the funnest thing that you feel you've done in your life so far?
I think when during college, when I sneaked out of home to go clubbing in the night, because my parents wouldn't allow me to, so I had to like jump from my building to another, and then later on, after I'm down a few drinks, I've actually climbed back up. And when I look back and think back, I'm like, why and how did I do something so stupid and bizarre? But I did it. And I was lucky not to have a fall and break my head or leg or hand, But that's like the most notorious thing I've done.
So tell me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? You have a thriving business going, you're an entrepreneur, you're a new...
Yeah. Honestly, Sanj, I think at this point in life, I love my job, and I obviously want to go back to doing what I do at Cure.fit and continuing that journey. But I think nothing is more important to me today than Yona. So if I feel the need to just, kind of stop everything and just be around her, like I said, I think I'm being more clingy than her. I think I'm going to take that call. It's her for me now and for many years to come. And apart from that, I really want to continue doing stuff which can inspire and motivate people to get, moving and make fitness their routine, because that's what really brought me where I am today. And I don't want to stop doing that, whether it's through Cure.fit or through my own little social media or whatever it is. I still want to continue helping people make these changes, small changes in their life that can really make them fitter, healthier and happier. And the other big thing is Yona. So, I'm not really planning much for the next 5 years. If I have to slow down, I'm more than willing to slow down for her. And I probably think, that's the direction I'm going to be heading.
Lastly, a few tips for all of us who have either taken to fitness recently or want to take to fitness.
Fitness is simple. Don't make it complex. Don't be intimidated by all the videos that you see out there on social media or on YouTube or wherever, or on the app. It doesn't need to be, difficult at all. And I think one must remember that fitness is infinitely scalable. An 18-year-old and a 68-year-old can be doing the same movement, just with different intensity and things like that. So there's absolutely nothing to say, okay, I can't do this and this is not for me. It is for everybody. And I just want people to know that it's very simple. Just walking more often can keep you fit, right? You may not achieve a crazy goal with just walking more often, but yes, brisk walking and etc. is actually a big fat burner. So a certain goal can be achieved with that as well. But doing a lot of your functional stuff at home, being more active and agile around everything that you do will suffice, right? If you just want to be fit, healthy and happy. So don't make it a big deal. Make it just a part of your routine, like how you make, eating, bathing, brushing and everything else. Yeah, just squat, bend, climb stairs more often and you're sorted. Honestly, like I was just telling Vivek the other day that, this whole managing Yona phase, this 4th trimester phase, the number of times I have been bending to do things, I think it's like a gazillion times. Like I don't even know how I'm able to do it, but I'm like, imagine what a toll it must be taking on my, hips, right? The amount of times I keep bending, raising. So I'm thinking, how would somebody who's not got like strong back and, good musculature be able to do this? So that's when I was thinking that it's probably why a lot of people complain of back pain, post delivery and all of that. And it's not just because you've been injected in the spine, right? It's a lot after that. It's the stuff that you do just to, while raising that baby, the number of times that you keep bending and lifting, which is why you need to be fit and strong, because otherwise it just takes a toll. And there is no stopping, you just keep doing these activities for your baby. There's no stopping. So what do? So it's so important to be a lot more fitter and healthier, at this point in life. and no matter what age, this is what I would recommend also for all the moms, new moms, or moms who are planning to be moms. Please just focus on being, conscious, a little more conscious about fitness and health, and it'll make everything so much more easier.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure and a delight having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sanj. Love you.
Love you lots.